Let's go, guys. It's a strategy video. Today we're going to be talking about strategies. I was asked a couple of times if I'm still using the same strategies as my video that I released a month ago, and those strategies have, yes, changed. The game has changed a little bit since the patch, and throughout the course of the month, even before the patch, the game has changed, and I had to adjust my strategies accordingly. So we're going to talk about the strategies. I'm going to show you what I'm doing now, things that I've changed. I'm still running Overload. I still like Overload because I know the format of the AI, I know what they're doing, and I stick on Overload because of the plays I like to run out of it. So let's go over the strategies. I will talk over the sliders, how I do everything, how I use it, and why I use it. If you have any questions, leave that in the comment section down below. If you're new here and you like the videos and you don't want to miss anything in the future, hit that sub button and notification bell, guys. It means a lot to me. It does support the channel. And if you do like the video, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Let's get into it and see what we're doing for strategies. One thing I do, well, that I'll say outside of strategies, is I try to get as many abilities on different players as possible. You'll see McDavid, Unstoppable Force. Newendike has Quick Draw, because Quick Draw is just elite. And then he has Snipe, plus I have Elite Edges and Unstoppable Force on Nylander. Then Howe has Close Quarters. Matthews has Unstoppable Force, and Gretzky has Elite Edges and Unstoppable Force as well. I try to do everything on my team with abilities as in how I want it to be played, and Nylander is doing the puck carrying in the O-zone for me most of the time. It's who I usually try to get it to create the space to get a playoff, because Connor does the shooting and Joe is in front of the net. So what I'll do is I put Elite Edges and Unstoppable Force on Nylander. That way, when he's skating around, he can get tight cuts, and he's hard to knock off the puck. And on my second line, the same as Gretzky. Gretzky has a nasty shot, so when I do a tight cut or a quick curl, I can rip the puck on net and maybe get a snipe with Gretzky, but he's doing the carrying for me. Howe has close quarters because he'll do the finishing, and Matthews just is nasty, so I have Unstoppable Force on him, because if I give him the puck, he can get into a tight spot, and Unstoppable Force helps him out with that. So that's why I do my abilities like that, and Silver allows you to get it so many more on. With my offense, I run all four the exact same. Just gonna hide my camera here for a second. And the four that I run the exact same: Overload, 0, 10, 10, 0. I run Overload because, like I said, I like the format, the way the players set everything up. I like to carry the puck into the zone. I don't want my AI thinking it's dump and chase. I find it helps out a little bit with offsides. You might notice that when you're going to carry the puck in the zone, your AI goes in early, or your AI stands on the other side of the blue line and takes an offside. I find that 0 on the carry really helps out with that a little bit. They still do it from time to time, but not as much as if you have it on dump. Because when you have it on dump, they're expecting a dump, so they skate in, and that's when you get the offside. I want to be shooting as much as possible after the patch, because the patch made it a lot easier to score if you pick corners. So I want everything on shooting, and I want AI ready to shoot instead of cycling the puck. High energy, that's because I have top end cards, and that's on all four lines, so it doesn't matter if they're tired. By the time I cycle 1, 2, 3, 4, and I come back up to 1 is fully energized again and ready to go. So I want them going at their fullest all the time. I put it on do not block because I do not want my players in front of my goalie. I don't want players standing screening my goalie, because chances are the AI is not going to get the block in anyway, because players are patient. They're going to get around it, and then you're just standing in front of the goalie blocking his vision, and that's how they're going to get an easier snipe. I want the goalie to see it and hopefully give him a better shot of making that save. Defense. I'm going to hold the line at 0, and I'm going to shoot at 10. And the reason I'm holding the line at 0, I don't want them pinching, because if they pinch and we miss the puck, that's how you give up quick breakaways. And then hold the line is the only option. So I want them holding the line. And then cycle and shoot is at 10. And I want shoot at 10 because I want the defenseman to get ready to shoot the puck at the net, right? Like if I put it back to my blue line, I'm getting ready to put a puck on net. So maybe I get a tip or a rebound, create a chance. But I want my defense ready to shoot, just in case that's something that I want to do. And then for the full team strategies, this is defensive strategies here. I have it on 1-2-2 aggressive, and then the neutral zone I have on 1-2-2 blue. The reason I have it on 1-2-2 blue is because that puts the centerman in their zone on the forecheck, and that's what I want. You'll notice how for instance, the 1-4, if you have the puck in your zone, nobody's pressuring you, and you have time to break it out, set up, and get a clean pass, and make some clean moves into the zone. That's not what I want. I don't want people having time to think. When you give people time to think, they create chances and they get goals on you. So I have everything set up for pressure. Pressure is in a good way of winning games. if you make mistakes, it's also a good way to give up goals and give up big plays. So you got to be careful when you're running high pressure, because people look for your mistakes. If you're patient on defense, you'll have pressure meter all the time, but you won't make any mistakes, and you'll force players to make plays. But I run the 1-2-2 aggressive and the 1-2-2 blue because I like to always have pressure on my opponent, hopefully creating passing errors, turnovers, stuff like that. Forecheck is on 6. Defensive pressure is high. The reason my pressure on defense is high is because if I grab my defenseman in front of the net and I use them to box it to the outside, remember, your job on defense isn't to chase. When you chase, you turn over the puck, you make mistakes, and it gives open lanes for them to snipe a quick goal on your goalie. As a defenseman, your job, whether you're playing winger, center, or defenseman, it is to push them to the outside. Keep everything out of the high danger zone. So if you're a defenseman playing the top of the crease and you're keeping the cross crease from happening, or you're keeping them from getting anywhere, no, that's not skill zoning. You're not standing still. You're playing the puck, or you're playing the man with your appropriate player. You're just not leaning on them. You're keeping them to the outside. The reason I want it on high pressure for defensive pressure is all 4 of my AI are doing the same thing I'm doing. And then tight point is just to watch out for the clap bombs from the top for the tips and all that stuff. Keeps pressure on the defenseman as well. That way we have 5 men all keeping pressure on the opponent. Offensive pressure is aggressive. I put my offensive pressure at aggressive, and that's because I play an aggressive game and I want my AI playing that aggressive game style. But if I feel like my opponent is exposing my style or my aggressiveness, I will tone it back to more conservative, so I'm not getting exposed on the aggressive play style, because there are players that are really good at doing that. And then strong side slant is something I was running last strategy video, and that's the same. It's just the style I like to play. Quick breakout with like close support, and the reason I like that is just because the winger, he stays nearby for a quick outlet pass if I get into any struggles. Now, never mind the name with Carlson on here. The reason he's on there is just to do objectives for next gen players. But I was asked about power play last time I did a strategy video. People were commenting that I didn't touch on power plays, but I touched on everything else, so they wanted to know if I could touch on power plays. Power plays, I run 1-3-1, and the reason I run that is because it has 2 players on the outside board, 1 player down by the net, and 1 defenseman up, and then you got your middle man for tips, deflections, or anything out front playing in front of the net. And it also leads for good cycle. I find that if I need to, I can throw it down to the boards and get Carlson behind the net to give it either to Brisebois or Luc Robitaille. And then I got Kevin Lowe up top for any defensive work, and then Joe right in the middle for clustering up the middle to see if we can do anything. And a good pass could be like Lowe to Robitaille to Carlson up to Nieuwendyk and a shot anyway, with good puck movement. And then for my face-off formation, I run aggressive. And the reason I do that is because the tie-up on this game is so strong, where you'll get Carlson to do the tie-up, Joe will come in and rip the puck across and get an easy goal, right? The face-off goal is what a lot of people call it. And why I run Kevin Lowe on aggressive here is because it puts doubt into the mind of your opponent, and it gives you a little bit of a chess match on the face-off dot. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to win it back to Kevin Lowe the first time we meet up this way and we match up this way. And that way, the next time, I might be able to tie up and come across for that face-off goal if he's thinking that I'm just going to drop back to Kevin Lowe again, because Kevin Lowe is right there for the one-timer off the face-off. So it adds a little bit of a mind game at the dot that might be the difference maker in getting a tie-up for a quick goal. But there we go, guys. Those are the strategies I'm running right now and why. I hope you did enjoy it. And if these are the strategies you're running, throw that in the comment section down below. Or if you're running something different, throw that in the comment section down below. And let's hear why you're running what you're running, because I'm always curious and I'm always willing to try something out if someone says, like, hey, you got to give this a whirl. But thank you guys for watching the video. Till next time, ciao, ciao.